Congratulations on the game, man. I wanted to know what changed with Leonardo Jardim in your role on the field. You're the most intense player. You have good performances. You're putting together a good run, right? I wanted to know from you what changed tactically with Leonardo Jardim and not with Felipe.
Well, I'm commenting now a bit for those who are on the bench, right, when they come off. And I commented that with Felipe Luis, I played a little more open, and it was more of an open game one-on-one. And sometimes I ended up being disadvantaged, but I have a bit of that characteristic. But sometimes there were games where many clubs here in Brazil work a lot with man marking, so sometimes there's a double team, and sometimes it's difficult to get past 1, 2, 3 players who come at you. And with Leonardo, it's not like that. I think what makes him different is the mobility he offers, playing inside, playing with his back to goal, asking for the ball behind him, sometimes opening up, sometimes wide. He gives you that freedom. So as I mentioned in my other answer, I think this style of play makes me identify more with him because I also like to ask for the ball inside, behind him, inside, and not be wide open. Sit in and not be wide open. So they are different styles of play. I felt very good for a period with Felipe, and now with Leonardo Jardim, I feel good in this sequence. I hope to continue helping and to have much more confidence in this system.
You mentioned confidence. What can you also say about that? Does your evolution on the field depend on the tactical scheme, but also on confidence due to this sequence?
Well, as I mentioned, I think the style of play also made me identify with him, made me feel comfortable within the team.
That's something.
And the way Leonardo Jardim works, I also had a coach who worked in this way, and so I was able to identify, well, what the coach is asking for. Well, through what he's asking for, the things I do. What he asks for comes the confidence, comes good games, and that's it.
You were heavily criticized by the fans. You've received several criticisms of fans today. For the first time you receive applause, you leave the match to a lot of applause. How do you see this new moment with the fans?
Well, as you said, those who criticize are the ones who applaud. And I'm totally focused on Flamengo playing and doing things well as a team so we can win, be victorious, and that's it.
Thanks, guys.
Leave it to us.
We'll start soon.
Oh, good evening, Paquetá. You scored your goal in the Libertadores, opening this victory for Flamengo. A very important victory, undefeated in the competition, and a very harmonious celebration with the fans, showing your passion for Flamengo. What have you been feeling about this synergy with the fans who, at times, criticize you when the results weren't coming? And now, with the results and the goals, the relationship has become much closer.
Well, I think my relationship with Flamengo won't change regardless of the results. I'm a guy who grew up here, who lived through many moments, and today I'm returning to live my dreams. So nobody can take that away from my heart. I think the fans are very clear about how much I dedicate myself, how much I strive to do my best. And of course, the criticism is normal, and I'm very calm about it. And tonight's a special night. I've been able to score my first goal, right? After everything I've been through, everything I've endured, and to experience this moment again at home is wonderful for me, is wonderful. I'm very happy.
To finish.
Tactically playing as a second defensive midfielder, you've had your third consecutive very good game, right? It's a very good game. And speaking a little about your future and even thinking about the Brazilian national team, the World Cup, do you believe that in this second defensive midfielder role with Leonardo Jardim, understanding the competition you have at Flamengo, is the role that can also put you in the World Cup squad?
Well, about the World Cup, I have to do my best at Flamengo, whatever the role is. Of course, people know how I like to play. It's the way I feel most comfortable, but I'm always making myself available with a squad of such high quality. I truly want to help, want to be involved, and want to help Flamengo achieve its goals.
Thanks, man. It was only 2. It was 2.
Jorge, bienvenido micrófonos del FPC. Es la segunda victoria del FLFL en la Libertadores y ahora colombiano.
Pero contentos que la verdad tuvimos un poco pares en la intent. No se dio después, nos embarraron. Tuve un error personalmente yo. Team reassemble there. Football featuring
minutes as a starter, and above all, increasing confidence.
I see you.
I lied to Igon Bergest. Treat him better. Maybe what I do. Learning, growing. Trainer, 10 losers.
I'm happy with the independent feeling of Medell. Colombian success in international tournaments.
Don't decide to see it become difficult. Arrival or become great. They performed. At first. After which they defined details. Then I'll see that I get over it.
In the conversation there. On the lawn there, you scored a goal. I managed to score the second goal there. Very close there, very quickly. Right now, what was your conversation there so as not to let the atmosphere drop? Considering that the crowd felt a little at the time of the goal there, how's your conversation about being able to maintain the momentum and achieve this elastic victory today?
No, we discussed continuing with our current work. That's what we were doing. The goal there was our mistake, a lapse in concentration. But it happens in every team. And we just said we should continue as we were, that we were controlling the game. We had possession, we were attacking them. We just had to keep going, and the second goal would have been a matter of time.
I wanted you to assess your positive start with Flamengo in the Libertadores.
After all, you were a starter in these first two games of the competition and had two solid performances in Flamengo's defense. No, definitely not. Wow, what can you say? Thank you. So we started the competition very well with a very difficult game at altitude and then an impeccable game here at the Maracanã. We knew we would have more possession and we couldn't give the opponent any openings. So these two games are very important for us to continue doing well in the competition.
Real R, Flamengo's 4 consecutive victories. The fact is that this streak hasn't happened since August last year, and on that occasion, Flamengo won 6 consecutive matches. How would you describe this good moment? Do you think it's possible to break that 6-game winning streak now? Is it possible to go further?
No, definitely not. We'll work game by game. We know that when we're wearing this shirt, we always go onto the field with the intention of winning. We have a very difficult game now in the Brazilian Championship against Ba at home, and we know the difficulty of that. We are going to put in our best effort to be able to win this victory one step at a time, but hopefully we can reach this.
Thanks, Rafa.
You talked a lot about responsibility, about how shameful that match was. And I wanted to know what changed after that defeat, so that Flamengo now enters the field with a different attitude in the locker room. What changed with you from that defeat today?
4 victories, and besides the victories, Flamengo's good performances.
Wasn't a big change actually against Bragantino. It's a misstep in the trajectory, which is normal to happen, but we need to make the right and quick corrections so that we don't stray too far from the path, which is what we try to do internally in training, in conversations. And we managed to demonstrate on the field that, as I said, it was a misstep, which we hope won't happen again, or that we'll have as many missteps as possible so that we can have tranquility, consistent dive performances, and thus get as many points as possible.
Danilo, with today's victory, Flamengo starts the Libertadores with 2 games and 2 wins. This is important, especially after the group stage, because you have the advantage of playing the decisive matches at home, something Flamengo didn't have last year, having to play away. What is the importance of starting with 2 wins, 2 games, and 2 victories in the Libertadores?
The idea of deciding at home is a hypothetical advantage, I'll tell you right now. Victories are important for us for confidence, for job security, for synergy, energy, and harmony with our fans and the environment. After that, deciding at home, it always depends on what you do on the field, on the results. So, sticking with the victories with first place in the group and with the security we've been able to achieve in the games. And lastly, guys, how did it mean for you to return to the Maracanã after Flamengo's 4th championship? The first Flamengo game after the Libertadores title, and again with a packed Maracanã, the fans supporting the team. And obviously, very happy, right? Because you were the guy who scored the title-winning goal and gave Flamengo their 4th championship. Very satisfying to be back here playing Libertadores. I think it's also my first game this year after the Carioca as a starter. And, our fans, yes, the fans put on a great show. They were supportive. We were able to play an interesting and important game. That's what we have to try to maintain from now on. Well, thanks. Good night.
Hello, Gaucho.